This is the new project 4 from Webdeersign. This is a foundation stacks project, and it uses some of the amazing new effects and animation just released in the BWD Sections Pro and Sections Box stacks. So we'll crack on and have a look at those. Initially, we have a full page display here that loads from a slightly darker version and then comes up to full brightness. We can scroll off that, and the first thing, if you're familiar with Foundation, you'll notice here is we now have a centrally mounted logo. Usually it's on the left or right. This is right in the center, and we have the top bars split into two. So we have half of it on one side, half of it on the other side. One of the neat things about this layout is that this also happens in the mobile display. So we keep the central logo, the overhanging logo, in mobile size down to a point where it's intruding on the size of the screen. So I don't think that's been produced before. I haven't seen it before. As you scroll down and up, you'll see it scrolls out of the way, yet it retains a slight sort of peep of the logo. So you can keep this effect if you want. You can put your own logo in there. Any logo will do, and you can set it with the dimension sizes in the stack that's setting that up. So it's pretty easy to use. Now down here we have these three images. Often you'll have three images here. They've got to be the same size, same width, same height. You can put your own images there and put your own text in. But this is something that hasn't really been seen before in RapidWeaver files. Each of these are created with the animation effects within Sections Pro and Sections Box. These are set to animate on a hover event, so if we put the mouse over these, you'll see what's going on. There's actually 5 different animations going on in there. So we have the background image is zooming slightly. It's also going slightly darker. The word sourcing here is going from a slightly translucent into a solid color so you can read it. And then we have this additional sliding image and sort of breaker in the middle of the image, slides in from the left. And again on the bottom we have more text which slides in from underneath. So it works very well on each of these. You could click on these and go off to a page. Really nice way to introduce 3 topics. You could have more if you want, but it's a great way of doing something totally unique. You can build an animated layout here, pretty much whatever you want to do. Whatever you've seen before, you should be able to recreate it. It does take a bit of learning to understand it, but you need to understand the types of animation that are going on. Spend some time on it and you'll be able to design your own animations there. Moving on down, the layout of this is being laid out with the overall design aim of inserting a CMS type of system into these pages easy. So this page here, so for example, these could be the high value products that this business has. They just happen to be custom cards in this case, but they could be anything. So this type of text layout that you have here is typical of what you might get in a CMS system. You might also want to have a CMS gallery here. All of this, by the way, is just text and the built-in Orbit gallery, but it's laid out ready for you to do that if you want to do that. So if you want to use something like Pulse CMS to do that, or Armadillo or Total CMS, the whole layout is ready for you to do that. You would change this column of text for your Pulse block and change these images for a Pulse gallery, or you do the same thing in Total CMS. So it's ready to do that if you want to do that. And then in addition, there's more details. Now this goes off to the same page for each of these, but it's just to show you the type of idea. Again, we have a really nice animation there where it goes from a blurred into a sharp image. And this is where you'd find out more details about that particular product or service. In this case, it's a fictitious car, but this is the sort of thing you can do. And all of this text here all of that could be replaced by one CMS stack to put your own content in there. So it's ready for you to do that. So if we go back to the rest of it, we have a few of these. You can build these up. There's a dark one and a light one, and they're swapped around, so you can see how you can build these up. We then come down to this nice wow factor image. Now what we have here is a large, great looking image, and on the left we have a half of the screen is blurred so that we can see what the messages we're trying to convey here. And if we scroll off it and then scroll back into it, there we are. You can see that it starts off as a sharp image and then it blurs. That's a pretty slick effect. You can see how to do that. You can put your own images in there, put your own text in here, and this works all the way down to mobile devices as well. And then we have just a basic footer at the bottom, again using the same type of animation and sections box. There's also a contact form. In this case it's a foundation form, but you could just replace all of this with something like the Pulse CMS email form. Just drop that in one stack and you're ready to go. So the whole thing's been laid out with that in mind. It's a versatile system. It's a versatile layout in that you can just cherry pick what you want here, drop them into your own designs, or run with this as it is. Put your own images in there, put your own text. I think it's a great looking site. If you have any questions, let us know. Okay, thank you.